Well, how's it going, everybody? It's been a little while since we've done a video on the YouTube channel. I've just been, had a crazy, first part of the year, and I really just haven't had a lot of time to do content. But I've got a lot of stuff that I want to do coming up. So hopefully you'll be seeing some pretty cool stuff coming up lately in and out of the theme parks. And speaking of out of the theme parks, clearly we are at home. So it's a home vlog tonight. And usually when I do home vlogs, I talk about something else that I love, which is record collecting. So it's talking about like different things that I've picked up over the last couple weeks, months, maybe even things that I want to own at some point. So I thought I would go through the stack of some of the recent vinyl that I've picked up since probably about the first of the year. So thought I'd show you guys some pretty cool records and talk a little vinyl. All right, so first up is a greatest hits album, and I actually own quite a few greatest hits albums on vinyl. Not that I don't like individual albums. I love individual albums. I mean obviously Pet Sounds, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Abbey Road, Thriller. I mean Thriller's practically a greatest hits in itself. But there's nothing wrong with owning a good greatest hits, because sometimes you just want to hear the hits. And this is one that I actually listen to pretty regularly. It is Creedence Clearwater Revival's Chronicle. And I've owned this one for a little while, but I just owned it on standard 180 gram black. This one is really, really cool because this is a color variant, and I can't remember if this was at Walmart or Target where I got this from, but it comes on this really cool, like almost tie-dye color variant. It's like this smoke color, really cool looking. I really like watching this on the turntable. Obviously it sounds really great, but just looks just really cool. Like I said, I don't even really know how to explain it. Like marble smoke, it's so pretty to look at. So it's got everything on here. Susie Q, Put a Spell on You, Proud Mary, Bad Moon Rising, Down on the Corner, Fortunate Son. Every hit by Creedence is on. This is a double LP, so it's on both of these albums. But fantastic album. If you're looking to get a really good greatest hits album, this is definitely one that you should be considering adding to your collection. All right, next up is a movie soundtrack, and I apologize, it's raining outside, so you may be able to hear some of the rain outside, not sure. But it's a movie soundtrack, and it's something I had actually been hunting for about a year. I've been looking for it pretty much since I saw the movie and started collecting vinyl. And finally one day I was just walking through my local shop, Triangle Vinyl, here in Florida, in Claremont, Florida, and lo and behold, there it was in his movie soundtracks. So I went ahead and of course snatched it as soon as I saw it, and that is A Star Is Born, the Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper film. Love this album. Nothing really cool special about the vinyl, standard black. Really cool artwork on the inside. Really cool photos of the both of them on the inside of the gatefold. I do have one issue with this album, and that is, and I don't know if there's a different version of it out there that I may swap this for at some point, but I don't know if you can tell if you look at the track listing. The stuff in gold are dialogue cuts from the movie. So it's actual dialogue lifted from the movie and put into the soundtrack, or put onto the soundtrack between the songs. And that, it's not like a deal breaker. It doesn't really bother me that much, but it pulls you out of listening to it. I bought this because I wanted the songs and not because I wanted to hear scenes from the movie. I love the movie. If I want to watch the movie, I'll watch the movie. But for me, I would have preferred this not have those dialogue cuts. It's not like anything crazy, like 2-3 minute snippets of scenes, like 30 or 60-second things really. But still, it just, when the first track on the first side of the album is a dialogue track, it sets you up for a different listening experience. And I really would have just preferred that this have just the songs. But I still listen to this probably at least once a week. I still listen to it pretty regularly. So, all right, next up is a Disney album, which I own quite a few of. This is something I actually got from Disney Music Emporium back a while back. I love the artwork on this. This is Louis Armstrong's Disney Songs The Satchmo Way. I love the artwork on this. This is actually, this was an album that was repressed for Record Store Day, which is actually coming up this weekend, the 12th, coming up to Record Store Day. So if you're a record collector, or you think about getting into record collecting, go to your local record store and check out Record Store Day. There's some cool stuff out this time. But anyways, this was a Record Store Day exclusive a few years ago. And after Record Store Day, they went ahead and pressed it with a mass repress and kept the same artwork from the Record Store Day release, which I love. Just standard black vinyl, but it's got some great stuff on it. When You Wish Upon a Star, Davy Crockett, Chim Chim Cheree, Bare Necessities. Great stuff. Disney classics on here, all done in that Louis Armstrong New Orleans jazz style. So if you like that New Orleans style of jazz and you like Disney, best of both worlds, can't go wrong right here. Louis Armstrong, Disney Songs The Satchmo Way. Next up is another movie soundtrack. This was a Walmart find. I actually just bought this just a few days ago, really. And it is the Back to the Future soundtrack on this really pretty, like, orange marble vinyl. You can see the kind of the marbleization there in the color. Really cool looking. This is the soundtrack, so it has some of the score, has like maybe 2 pieces of the score, has like the main theme, and then it has like a medley of a couple other things. So it does have some of the score on it, but it does have all of the Huey Lewis and the News stuff, like Power of Love, Back in Time, and then it's got all the stuff that you hear at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, like Johnny B. Good and Earth Angel. So really cool album. Really pretty to see, you know, spinning on the turntable with that orange marble color. So really cool. Mondo did a version of the score that's on this white and blue starburst color that I definitely want to pick up at some point. I just haven't gotten my hands on it yet, but eventually I'm going to get that, and that one is the score. But this is the soundtrack. Like I said, this was a Walmart find. So say what you will about Walmart vinyl. I've only had one vinyl from Walmart that I was just unhappy with, and that wasn't Walmart's fault. It was a bad pressing of the album after I found out after the fact. But I can't complain about this one. Really cool. It sounds really great, and it's a cool color variant. So, and I'm a sucker for a good color variant. Next up is a Broadway soundtrack, something that I don't actually own a lot of. I do not have that many Broadway soundtracks. I think I only have maybe 2 before this one. Got this one probably about 2 months ago. This is a musical that when they announced they were making a musical of this, I was kind of skeptical. I didn't know what it was going to be, and I didn't have a lot of faith in it. But then I listened to it, and I ended up loving it. And then I admit that I went and found a bootleg online of the show and watched it and loved it even more. So now it's something that I listen to pretty regularly, especially in the car and here at home as well. And that is Beetlejuice the Musical. And I know you're thinking, Beetlejuice the Musical? Yeah, Beetlejuice the Musical, based off the Tim Burton film. I am a huge fan of the movie, so I was worried what they were going to do with the musical, but they honestly did some really cool new stuff, kept the story pretty much at its core, did some cool new stuff with it, made some inside jokes about some of the changes they made, wrote some really cool songs, really good stuff. Alex Brightman is a fantastic performer who plays Beetlejuice. I don't know how he does that with his voice and doesn't kill himself, but it's got cool, artwork, photos from the show, and the lyrics on the inside. I highly advise that you listen to this and then listen to it again while reading the lyrics, because the lyrics are very clever and very well done and very funny. But that is not the best part of this vinyl. The best part of this vinyl is what it looks like. Technically, it is a picture disc. It's the only picture disc I own because I just don't, I don't really like them that much. They don't have that great of sound. And this one does have some surface issues because of it being a picture disc. It does kind of fall prey to that surface noise issue. But look at this. Look how cool this is. It's like hypnotic. You watch this on the turntable for too long and you feel like you're being sucked in, which was probably what they were going for. It's very cool to look at. Just don't stare at it for too long. Very cool. Again, it's not the best sounding record that I own. mostly because, like I said, picture discs have a bad reputation for just not sounding great, and this one, to me, just doesn't sound amazing. It could sound better, but if I really want a good quality, like sound quality, I'll just pop it on Spotify and put it into the speakers. Not a big deal. This one, strictly own it just because of the look of it. I mean, that's awesome looking. That's so cool. I love that. Next up is a cover album by one of my favorite bands, and that is Weezer's Teal album. I love that they went back to the just the colors on these, didn't actually give the album a name, which, you know, they were kind of known for. Blue Album, their debut album, has Buddy Holly, Sweater Song, Say It Ain't So. The Green album, which is actually back here as well, one of my favorites, has Hash Pipe, Island in the Sun, Photograph. And then Teal was their cover of 80s and I think it was all 80s and 90s, maybe a couple 70s, 80s, 90s covers. This one is the one that has their version of Toto's Africa, which is fantastic. Aha, Take On Me. My favorite on here, though, is their cover of Black Sabbath's Paranoid and their version of TLC's No Scrubs. Fantastic album. Highly recommend picking this one up. This one's nothing special, just standard black. But this was a local find. Found this one over at Triangle. Again, I try to buy most of my records local that I can, but was glad I picked this one up. I listened to this one way more than I thought I would. Fantastic album. If you've not heard all of it, check it out. Even if it's just checking it out on Spotify, check it out. There's great stuff on here. But of course, honestly, the thing everybody loves on here is their version of Toto's Africa. So pick this one up. It's fantastic. You won't regret it. All right, next up on the list is actually a jazz album, and it is a film score. It is the jazz score from Disney Pixar's Soul. Really good movie. If you've not seen it, really, really cool, really good movie, especially if you're a musician. There's really cool stuff in there about you know, just living your life to the fullest and doing all the things that you want to do. It's a fantastic film. But when they released the score for this, they released the Trent Reznor score, but there was no addition. That was just the John Baptiste jazz cuts from the film. And just a few weeks after the movie came out, this did pop out on shelves. And I was trying to find it online, and everywhere I was finding wanted like 40, 50, 60 bucks for it. It was going for a lot on Discogs. I'm not sure why. I couldn't find it local. I think Justin over at Triangle got it like one time. He had one copy, and I think I found out about it 3 days after he had it, so it was long gone. I actually ended up finding this in the wild at Barnes & Noble for 20 bucks, and I listened to this a lot more than I thought I would. I knew I would listen to it, but I listened to it a lot more than I thought. This is what I put on when I've got to clean or when I do stuff around the house. And it's a great album for that, but it's also a terrible album for that because I always find myself sitting right there in my comfy chair and just enjoying this album. So if you like jazz, or if you like Disney and Pixar stuff, or both, pick up a copy of the John Baptiste jazz score from Disney Pixar's Soul. So we got two more to go here on this video, and they are both film scores, and they're both film scores by Danny Elfman. First up is one of my favorite Danny Elfman scores, one of my favorite childhood movies. It is the Danny Elfman score to the original Tim Burton Batman. Michael Keaton's still one of my favorite Batmans. I love this score. This was the Batman theme. It's probably the most infamous outside of the 1960s Adam West television theme song. This is the theme song that was so good that when they went to make Batman the Animated Series, they just didn't even bother changing the score. They just used this score. And this one comes on some really cool, like, turquoise blue. Like, I guess not turquoise blue, but like, it's almost the same blue as the Adam West 60s Batman blue, which is weird. You know, it's kind of like the moonlight blue. But really, really cool, really pretty looking. One of the prettier albums in my collection. Listen to this a lot. I listen to this quite often. I just highly recommend you don't listen to this, at least on your phone or on Spotify or in your car. Don't listen to this while you're driving at night. You will get a ticket, especially if you listen to Descent into Mystery. while driving. You will look down and see yourself going 90 miles an hour on the interstate. So drive with caution if you decide to listen to the Danny Elfman score to Batman while driving. And last but not least is the score to Dick Tracy, the Warren Beatty Dick Tracy movie, which I honestly did not know that this was a Danny Elfman score until I bought it at the record store. I didn't know that. I just happened to see it and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I saw composed by Danny Elfman and I was like, really? I did not know that. This is a really cool score. If you like that old Hollywood or film noir type scoring, this is fantastic. Really, really, really good job. And this one comes on a really pretty translucent blue vinyl. Really, really, really cool. Matter of fact, both of these were released on the same day. I got this one first, and this one I had happened to stumble across a couple weeks later. But I listened to this more than I thought I would. I thought I would literally listen to this like one time and be like, all right, it's cool to have. But no, I actually listened to it quite a bit. And actually watched this movie for the first time in probably 25 years. A couple weeks ago, and it holds up. I still love this movie. I keep saying one day I'm going to do a Dapper Day look and do the Dick Tracy yellow coat and hat. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get bold enough to do it. But yeah. So, but thank you guys. That was kind of the record haul. There's way more I could talk about, but we've been talking for a while already. So, but thank you guys for watching. We have a lot of stuff coming up this weekend. Matter of fact, Saturday after Record Store Day, I'm going to be doing media coverage. I got myself on the invited media list for Central Florida Comic Con. I'm going to be cosplaying out there, going to be having a lot of fun. I got some friends that are going out there that are awesome cosplayers. So I'm going to be showing you guys some really cool cosplay, showing you guys some of the vendors, showing you some of the, maybe some of the panels, some of the different stuff going on in there. The voice of Space Ghost is going to be a guest there. May have to see if I can get him to maybe say a little something on the channel, get a picture with him. But thank you guys for watching. I always appreciate that. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share this out with your friends and family. And as always, watch your step.